Greetings, fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hive Hand. And today we are going to have a look at the patch notes titled "Things Are Heating Up." I don't know whether they mean in the game or just because we're heading into summer, but either way, we're going to take a bit of time to go over the patch notes and yeah. So just to confirm, patch notes may change slightly before release. Obviously, as a community contributor, I was given these a couple of days early, so just to make you aware, things may change or may not. But server maintenance is scheduled to take place this coming Monday, the 17th of May. Once the maintenance is close to an end, the update will be pushed through to console. So 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. UTC. So what's that? Is it, I believe, 6 till 9 for the UK? It's either that or it's 8 till 11. I forget. I digress. Anyway, file size hasn't been confirmed, but as you've probably already guessed by the teaser that Wargaming put out, the new campaign, a tall class of victory, is in fact going to be the ship that was recently teased in the trailer, the Tier 7 premium battleship, the Champange. A project battleship rather similar to the Gascoigne is the centerpiece of the new campaign. She finds herself at Tier 7, offering quick traversing triple turret guns that are among the most accurate for the battleships. As a matter of fact, her 406mm guns are the highest caliber among our Marine National ships so far. Okay, so first of all, I want to put that's probably a little teaser. This is purely speculation, but just from that phrase, you know, we're going to get, I think that's saying that we're going to have a legendary battleship for the Italian Navy, and I'm guessing it's probably going to be the Republic or something like that. So they're basically saying something's coming and it's going to have big guns. When? Who knows? But I'm just speculating. So it's a rather fast ship. When sailing at full speed, it can reach 34 knots. And if she needs to be, she can reach her objectives even faster by activating her engine boost. So we know she's got 406mm guns. We know she's accurate, so she's probably going to be a sniper. We know she's fast, and we know she's got an engine boost. So, but in all fairness, we know most of the stats already from the teaser trailer. So weekly Havoc missions are locked into weeks they start in. Legendary ships can be used for skill-based challenges once you've done the shakedown trials, but they do not share mission progress with other tier ships. So the same as we've been seeing for the past couple of updates, but it's nice that you have the option. They're also bringing back hard mode tasks as part of the weekly Havoc, which will allow you to complete the campaign's 100 milestones a week earlier, essentially giving you 2 weeks to if you finish it on the early enough on the week before the update ends. Basically gives you 2 weeks to farm steel to progress towards the Missouri or whatever else you fancy beforehand. I'm not going to bother going over the rewards. They're fairly typical. Only major differences, these revolutionary camouflages, which I'm assuming are obviously going to be for the Italian navies, insignias, commendations, patches, some backgrounds, anything particularly interesting in the Admiralty backing besides the Champange. 7 big winter crates, that's actually quite nice. 500 doubloons back, 3 commendations, 3 insignias, and an extra 26 promotion orders. Actually, that's not bad. What's that, 40 promotion orders? Pretty much worth it for the promotion orders, in all fairness, even if you're not too interested in the ship. Plus the insignias and the commendations as well. Very good for leveling up your commanders. Right, next thing, Godzilla versus Kong. So yes, Godzilla versus Kong is coming. It's going to be in this update. You're going to get the two. Right, so we'll go through it. So Godzilla and the King of Nature, Godzilla, and Apex Predator Kong. You can get them as commanders with unique skills and special voiceovers. Each will also get their own Tier 5 premium battleship, Heatwave for Godzilla and Primal for Kong. Additionally, they'll be introducing themed disposable camouflages and special containers that can drop the aforementioned content. Additional patches will also be available within specific bundles. So the Godzilla is going to come with two unique skills: Horrifying Gaze, base trade, reduce spotter reload time by 0.25% per rank, and increase its duration by 0.075 per rank. Particularly good for some very heavily sniper build focused ships. Thick Hide, this is actually a really interesting skill. Decrease the chances of catching fire by up to 8%, and also increase maximum hit point regeneration by repair party consumable by up to 10%, depending on rank. Yeah, with that's definitely going to counter the HE fire spamming meta that is currently in the game. Not counter, but it's definitely going to increase your survivability quite a lot. And then we have Kong with the Battle Axe base trait. Increase the damage of your battleship's AA guns by 0.6 per rank. Tear the Wings Off skill, which increases the damage of your battleship AA guns by up to 10% and increase the survivability of the AA mounts by 100%. Obviously, with carriers being ever more prevalent in the game. And, well, you know, obviously a very specific type of commander, an anti-AA commander for battleships. I'm assuming, well, yes, it does say for battleships. But I think Godzilla is definitely going to be the main one that I'm going to be interested in anyway, that's for sure. You'll be able to find the Godzilla and Kong content in the store for the entire duration of the update up until the 21st of June. Please note that in Legends, the Godzilla content is associated with the Japanese nation, while the Kong ship and commander are American. And, well, this is interesting. Well, getting two more ships added to the bureau, and a bit of luck, I'm just about to finish the gearing so I can crack on straight with these two. So the Kleber and the Worcester are going to be in the bureau. Right, okay, so the Kleber, what is that? So basically this is the first legendary French DD. It's going to come with main battery reload booster at disposal, but as per usual for the French, lacks a smoke screen. She improves on the Fantastique's qualities, bringing great competition to the Khabarovsk, Shimakaze and Girin. So for those of you who don't know, it's a gunboat that has a reload booster, and yeah, could potentially kill a Khabarovsk really quickly. It's gonna be interesting to see how it actually plays. I'm not too sure if Wargaming are going to be kind enough to loan me the ship for a few days, or whether we're going to have to wait 3 months till I get round to unlocking it. But yeah, we'll we need something to counter the DDs, and alright, and a DD isn't ideal, but at least there's something. And well, I did mention this in my recent State of the Game video, that we needed some light cruisers, and of all the light cruisers to have, this is the one I didn't want. Not that I've got anything against the Worcester, it's just its playstyle. It's not an aggressive ship, so you're not going to be wanting to get it in close to the cap to kill DDs. But at least we're getting some a bit more variety, another cruiser at least. So Wargaming, give us something else. I want to see the Zhao and the Minotaur and things like that making their way into the game. We've got enough battleships. We've definitely got enough destroyers. What's that going to be? Our 4th destroyer, and only our 2nd cruiser, along with the 3 battleships that we have. So she's essentially remained unchanged from the test event. So numerous rapid. So basically, it's a Cleveland with 32mm bow and an extra gun turret, if I remember rightly. Both projects are similar in structure to the previous legendary entries, although we do not plan to depreciate them in the foreseeable future. Okay, right, so ranked seasons, oh crap, X is 10, so 12 and 13. So the previous ranked sprints were a success. We also received feedback about them not being enough of a challenge. You can never make the player base happy. Ranked is too much of a grind. Oh, ranked's not enough of a grind. Well, okay, so fair play to Wargaming. They've taken the feedback and they're trying to put something into the middle ground. So there's a new format to allow more casual players to enjoy the season, while the more competitive will be able to fight a tooth and nail to get to rank 1. So the full rule set will be released on Monday the 19th of May, but to feed your curiosity, here are the most important, or some of the important changes we can expect. So each season is 12 days long, as opposed to, so we went from, what, like a month to like 2 days to 12 days. Okay, the ladder consists of 11 ranks, split into 3 leagues. So we are going back to the rank and the league format that we previously had. Each league has its own specific ship tier and team size. Moreover, the team sizes are dynamic and smaller teams will be formed if the matchmaking is taking too long. That's good. That's really good, because I remember getting quite frustrated on previous seasons where they had the leagues and you'd finish, if you got on early and you finished the first league really quickly, you'd essentially not be able to get a higher league match. There are fewer save points on the ladder. However, the best players on the losing team will save their stars. So the top 2 players in League 3 and the top player in League 2, no stars will be saved for those players losing on the losing team in League 1. So I quite like that. So it's going to be progressively more difficult the higher up the leagues that you go. Steel badges can be earned by reaching rank 7, with more becoming available when you reach rank 1. There will be no aircraft carrier in rank battles, and you can display your win rate and check others' stats after the battle. I'm not entirely sure if I'm too happy about that. Not because I don't think it's going to bother me particularly too much, but I think that might introduce a bit of stat shaming. Whether this is Wargaming testing the water about having our stats be sort of more available to the wider player base. They're going to see how much pandemonium this causes. But yeah, if you're not the best player and you haven't got a particularly good win rate in ranked, probably best to turn your messages off, because I can imagine this being quite a toxic season in my personal opinion. So balance changes. Right, so there's quite a few buffs coming, and in all fairness, most of them I'm actually really happy with. They've made changes to the aircraft carriers already, which, to be honest with you, I disagree with. I do not think the carriers should have been buffed. They're going off numbers, but hell, the player base hasn't figured out how to use them yet. So buffing carriers that quickly was probably not the smartest move. But these are ships that have some of them are ships that have desperately needed some buffs. Tier 6 cruisers are in a really rough place, especially when they come up against tier 7s. So having these buffs are going to be quite good. So the Indianapolis and Indianapolis B are going to receive a main battery accuracy improvement of 3%, 200 extra damage to the HE and AP shells, and main turret traverse speed increased from 6 degrees to 7 degrees a second. It's basically speeding up your turret traverse. Mogami is also going to get the same turret traverse speed increase, a torpedo speed increase of 2 knots, and torpedo sea detectability is going to drop from 1.8 to 1.7 kilometers. Hipper main battery reload is going to be reduced by 2.5 seconds down to 11.5, and similarly is getting a maximum HE shell damage increase of 200 for the hull B, so the upgraded hull, and 100 to the armor piercing. This one I don't think is needed at all. Baltimore. So the tier 7 Baltimore main battery turret traverse is going to be increased by a second as well, basically to keep up with everyone else. A 6% increase to accuracy. Now the accuracy on the Baltimore is never something I've ever had an issue with, but holy crap, I'm going to abuse the hell out of this ship with this update. And also a 200 hit point damage increase for HE shells, and 300 for the armor piercing. They're also increasing the speed, the shell velocity. So what this means is it's going to be easier to aim and to fire the guns. Now, honestly, so of course, like I said, we've had the patch notes for a few days, so I have spoke to Wargaming about the buffs to the Baltimore, and according to the stats, the Baltimore is actually doing really, really badly, which is surprising and a bit of a shame. It's a fantastic ship, so why it's performing so badly on average through the player base, I don't know. Is it prevalence of ships like the Wichita and the Ochakov that you either can't pen or you overpen? Who knows? One thing to take note though, the Azura Lane Baltimore is not receiving the buff. So the Baltimore is getting the buffs. The Azura Lane Baltimore will stay as standard. This has also been questioned by myself and some of the other CCs, and they have confirmed that once they get the numbers back from this update and see if the Baltimore's improved any or not, then possibly they might buff the Azura Lane Baltimore as well. New Orleans having a 3% increase to accuracy, a reduction in reload time by a second, and the turret traverse buff as well. And it's not all good news, ladies and gentlemen. It's not all buffs. There are balance changes. These are balance changes, so they're not buffs. There's some nerfs as well. So the La Fantastique default torpedo speed is being dropped by 6 knots from 75 to 69 knots, and the upgraded torpedoes dropping from 76 to 70 knots. Default upgraded torpedoes detectability by sea is also increasing by 100 meters from 1.8 to 1.9 kilometers. Now, not a ship that you see often, but I think we've got a case of the Amagi again. It's a hard ship to play, so the people who play it know how to use it well, and it's overperforming. Basically, it's outperforming every other destroyer in the game at tier 7 currently. So because of that, yeah, it's getting nuked. Bizarrely, the Kagero is getting upgraded torpedoes, the reload time is being decreased by 11 seconds, so from 112 to 101. The Benson is going to have a new artillery module added to the ship progress, which is going to increase its maximum damage by 100 and increase the muzzle speed, which again, what that does is it reduces the flight time of the shell, making aiming I don't know if it's going to make it any flatter, but it's definitely going to make it faster, so they're going to be a bit easier to aim, and it's having exactly the same buff to the HE shells as well. Fletcher is also going to receive the same buff, so 100 extra damage to both its arm piercing and its high explosive shells, and a muzzle speed increase from from 792 to 830 as well. So the Benson and the Fletcher are receiving the same buff, so it's going to be consistent through the line. Balance changes for anti-AA suits. So anti-air damage is going to be tweaked in such a way that the continuous damage from AA guns is higher, but there will be fewer flak clouds. This has been done to reward successful squadron maneuvers and to make AA damage more predictable. I did mention in the previous state of the game video about AA damage and how it works, and it seems to be a bit poor. So hopefully this is going to give us a bit more balance. It should reward good carrier players, but bad carrier players should hopefully lose a lot of planes and not be able to guarantee that full strike every time. Store coupons. So starting with this update, we're introducing a new way to make purchases more comfortable or lucrative through the use of coupons. Coupons will allow you to either reduce the price of a bundle or item or get something extra with your purchase. We'll release a separate post on our blog soon that explains exactly what coupons do and how to get them. Stay tuned. Not entirely, if you've got to pay for them, it kind of defeats the object, doesn't it, really? Or I wonder if it's a way of, say you've bought X amount of premium ships, is it going to be sort of a reward system? I guess we're only going to be able to, we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we? Miscellaneous changes and improvements. The legendary card for the premium supply mission set now requires you to achieve 7 victories instead of 5, but also rewards you with 100 steel badges. So they're definitely trying to entice people to play a bit more legendary battles. There's a couple of historical camouflages coming. Obviously, remember that camouflages cost 75 paint to create, and then each upgrade also requires more paint. So the Jarvis, Icarus, Lightning, Colorado, Iowa, Benson and Fletcher are all going to have their historical camos available for you to create completely free. I'm assuming this is because it says it's going to cost you 75 paint to create it, so there's no going to, so from what I'm reading from that is there's no charges for it. It's not you have to buy the camo and then upgrade it. You can literally go into your ship, go to camo and create, and yeah, you'll be able to put historic camos on those aforementioned ships. Bug fixes: you will now be able to create permanent camouflages for the Gearing and the Conqueror. Removed no Roman numerals from consumable names. Fixed a bug that rarely caused PlayStation to crash whilst leaving a battle. Removed the extra AA guns title from the AA suit descriptions, and AA gun calibers are now correctly shown in the loadout. And finally, last but not least, premium store news. This update will likely, so this is not 100%, this is going to happen, but it's quite likely that this is going to happen. We are going to see a brand new tier 5 premium Soviet cruiser, the Admiral Makarov, and the German destroyer, the Z-35. They don't specify any dates, but, well, we'll just have to sit back and wait and see, I guess. So, that's it. That's all from me. That is the patch notes. I don't know if this is the most interesting patch that they've done, but well, so you're talking there's 5 new premium ships. There's going to be Godzilla, Kong, the Z-35, the Makarov, and also the Champange. We're going to see that a lot. The 2 new bureau ships, but let's be honest, not very many people are going to unlock them within a month. It is quite expensive. You can do it in about a month if you have all the ships and commanders ready. I do love the fact that the weekly Havoc missions are now going to give you steel, and although I think the balance changes are generally quite good, I am a little bit dubious about whether the Baltimore actually needs that buff, or whether it's just sort of player-based education. And it's very much the same again with the La Fantastique. I don't think that ship deserves a nerf, because if you don't know how to use it, you suck. But the fact is, it's quite a rare ship to see, and when you do see it, it's generally by someone who knows exactly what they're doing, and they've got their build very well sorted out. And yeah, it seems to be, it does feel like that is punishing some of the best players in the game just because they're outperforming in what is, you know, a very difficult ship to play. But in all fairness, I think I don't think it's going to make much of a difference having slightly slower torpedoes. So we'll see. We'll test it out over the coming week. So thank you very much to everyone who stopped by. Hope you enjoyed, and of course, as always, until next time, take care.